It's a pivotal game in any best-of-3 battle, Game 2, where one team can wrap up the championship or the other can square the series. And that second scenario is exactly what the Southside Flyers and their fans have in mind as they roll into the State Basketball Centre in Melbourne's East. But it's not going to be easy. Up against a juggernaut hunting its 16th straight win. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Game 2 of the Cygnett WNBL Grand Final Series. Jason Bennett alongside Jenny Screen and Carrie Graff. Screeny, Game 1 preparation, not ideal, obviously, for Southside. They didn't use it as an excuse, but the reality was they played the Boomers in that epic one-point game on the Wednesday, flew to Townsville, very little time to recover. Emotionally or physically, they looked flat. And
they came up against the team that's on the trot to win 16 in a row, who are clinical and professional. It's going to be hard, but that's done and dusted. They got embarrassed. Now they get to come home on their home court where they have an absolutely sensational record, and I think we'll see a much different Southside Flyers outfit tonight. There was so much to like, Graffy, in Game 1 if you're a Townsville fan. Their system just hummed at both ends. They had 46 bench points to 14, 31-point blowout. They were so impressive.
They were. I mean, they were clinical offensively. They played their game plan. Half-court execution, pushed tempo and scored in the first 6 seconds when they could. You know, they got to the rim time and time again, and then they've got great rotation offensively, spit it out to their three-point shooters, but their ability to get 2 feet in the paint and on the rim was massive.
Occasionally everything hums in a team, Screen. You just go through your career and at certain points you just get to the zone if you're lucky, and it kind of feels like Townsville are there right now. And that's where they are, and that's credit to Shannon Seabohm and his coaching staff for allowing girls to play their roles, their balance, and how nice is it that you got Shyla Hill coming off the bench, and their bench, in fact, output was actually really good. 46 points compared to 14 of Southside Flyers in Game 1. Let's see if the Southside Flyers can rise to the occasion tonight off the bench. Let's welcome in the fourth member of our commentary team. Courtside tonight is Candy Hertz. And Candy, it's a similar scenario to last week. In fact, the same, really, for the Southside Flyers. Sudden death on their own home floor.
Feels like they're trying to make a habit of it, Jace. Honestly, we were back here this exact time last week, and it was a do or die once again. That time they were able to get the job done by just 1 point. Question is, will history repeat itself tonight? Now, I caught up with the Flyers camp today, and they honestly said they were really flat after Game 1. But like we've seen the Flyers do so many times at this season, they have found some energy internally. They are ready to bounce back, and they have a game plan, a very specific one that has to do with making sure they limit Shyla Hill. What that plan is, though, they're keeping very close to their chest. Now, we know in Game 1 that the Orange Army were just on fire up in Townsville. We're about to have a sellout in here tonight. So the question is, can the fans in here do what they did in Townsville and help their team get that W?
Well, the Flyers have been jumped, Graffy, by the Fire in 3 of their 4 meetings this season. Double-digit deficits by quarter time, and that's left them chasing the game. What have they got to do tonight to keep the series alive?
Yeah, look, particularly to that point, their defence in the opening stanza in the first quarter, particularly that mid-patch of the first quarter, that's when they're going to lock down, play containment defence. So I've got there as a second key. Absolutely contain the ball. That's where Townsville scored the bulk of their points. Points in the paint from deep penetrations, spitting out to shooters, deep penetrations into their dive cutter that gets to the point of the rim. That's massive. And like all championship games, the possession game. Value possession, limit turnovers, and you must dominate the rebounding contest.
Screening 15 in a row for Townsville. What's working for them?
Everything.
Yeah, what is it?
Both ends of the floor is absolutely sublime to watch, but it's about more of the same. Control the tempo. We know how they love to play in the half court, play that chess game that they can do, and they have a lot of options and threats offensively. And then defensively, for me, it's team defense. Suffocate Southside Flyers. We know how good the scout is. They know each other's roles, and hopefully they will show that again tonight in Game 2.
Graffy, they're a very combative team, the Southside Flyers. We saw it against the Boomers. When they're at their best, they're up, they're in your face, they're aggressive, they're physical. They've got to find that again tonight.
Absolutely, and it's not like they've got to go looking for it. It's who they are. They've got great one-on-one defenders. You know, Rochi, phenomenal one-on-one defender. Cole, their spiritual leader and exceptional defender. Blitzarv's great one-on-one containment defender. They've got to bring that. You know, we saw that in Game 3 against the Melbourne Boomers. They've got to play that style defence up and in your grill. Having said that, Townsville are pretty good at executing you through all of that sort of stuff, but they've got to start from that place and stay with it and keep this game in the 70s.
Speaking of their spiritual leader, Beck Cole, she caught up with Candy before the game.
Yeah, we're in the grand final for a reason. I think a lot of people doubt us because we haven't beat Fire yet, but, you know, we were that best Boomers, and Boomers were able to come and grab a win from us. And I just think we have an extra person on the court with us today, and that's our Flyers fans. And you know what? Like I said in the media, I'm pissed off about that game. That is not us, and we're here to win today.
Oh, how great is it Southside Flyers have her in their team, and her experience, Abby Bishop there on screen as well. They've got championship experience in this team. Make no mistake about it. The team that we saw in Game 1 up in Townsville, the Southside Flyers, is not the team we're going to see tonight, and hopefully it'll start from the get-go. Of
the 6 WNBL Grand Final series that have been staged, 3 have been 2-game sweeps. The other 3 have gone to Game 3, and incredibly, in every single one of those that has gone to Game 3, Game 2's turned out to be a 1-point game. So we might be in for another thriller tonight. Let's hope so. State Basketball Centre will be rocking. And, of course, last season, the Flyers, well, they need to look no further than Melbourne last year, who got hammered in Game 1 last year, remember, by Perth on their own home floor. Went to Perth, won that thriller, came back, won the whole thing.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this game is so important and integral, obviously. And you know, I think Game 1 there's a lot to learn from, but there's also parking it to the side and going back to what they're good at, and that's holding teams to 76 points a game from the Southside Flyers.
A superb job defensively in Game 1, Graffy. Flyers averaging 83 points a game. Townsville held them to 63.
Yeah, we talked about how clinical Townsville are offensively, but defensively, they've got the same sort of schematic approach. You know, they'll have different things in their back pocket. You know, the coaches will be focused on what are the scouts, who do we need to lock up, and who do we need to attack. You know, Kayla Thornton's coming off that ankle injury. Do you go at her early and test that? You know, these two coaches, you know, Cheryl Chambers is a veteran coach of this league. She's coached in multiple final series, won championships, lost them. Shannon B-Bomb, that's his new nickname for this championship series. It is, if you can B-Bomb this one. But he's got finals experience too, but this one's going to be more of a chess match, absolutely.
So are Townsville 4 quarters away from their 4th WNBL title, or are the Southside Flyers 4 quarters away from levelling the series? It's Game 2 of the Cygnett WNBL Grand Final. It's the Flyers and the Fire at the State Basketball Centre. Samuelson rips it away from Cole, and it'll begin possession to Townsville. Steph Reed only had to play 20 minutes in Game 1. Could sit her on the bench for a half and still win by 31 points. Rochi up and in. There's that crossover.
Well, you talk about defence from the Southside Flyers. That is not the start that they would wanted, but how good and classy was that skill and ball work from Reed there. For me, she is their engine and their barometer.
Rochi. Cole. As Graffy mentioned, the first few minutes have generally been okay. That one's short. Out to Nicholson. But it's been the mid part of that first term where Townsville have put the foot down and managed to sneak clear. Nicholson gets her own board.
Just that containment defence, we saw it, you know, tough to defend Reed when she crosses over multiple times, but on the break, containment defence, as we see Reed again playing with that ball screen action.
Feeds Roof on this occasion. Michaela makes her opening shot.
I'm a fan of Roof. I love what she brings to the team. She's been a great pickup for them. Her numbers don't speak volumes compared to that of Hawkins, but she's almost a walking double most nights and just goes about it like a silent assassin.
Blitzarv's important. They need those early shots to just hang in. Good scrap from Thornton.
That's the possession play we talked about. That's championship-type possession. Kayla Thornton crashes, floods the O-boards, comes up with a loose ball possession. That's what you need. And suckers a foul in the process.
And hampered by that ankle injury in the last couple of games. Bishop, another with championship experience, and the Flyers converted into points.
And they need her to step up tonight. You know, Thornton's got to be Thornton. She's got to be who she was coming into this finals, this championship series. Bishop's got to step up. You know, Rochi's got to be her. Cole's got to be her.
Reed, probing as always, looking for an opening. Well done, Blitzarves fights for it and wins it.
And listen to the crowd. You can see that X factor that Candy was talking about pre-game, and also Cole, how important that is. It's almost a 6th player coming off the bench, and that roar from the crowd just shows how important that is.
And that's on Blitzarves' scouting report. She's going to get out in the lane, use that length, see if she can come up with some steals, ignite the break.
Bishop, Cole. Ties it up.
Well, something we know about Rebecca Cole, she loves to go right, and if she can't go right, she'll go right some more, and then that's a great read off the pick and roll from her. Be nice to see if they can push her and force her away from the screen, as we see Samuelson doing Samuelson things. She is on fire. Plus 50% for the season from downtown.
Beautiful pass from Reed to find her in the corner. Good response from Townsville. Cole to Rochi. Screen from Thornton. Will Maddie go herself against Hawkins to the corner? Cole, good ball movement. Bishop, extra pass. Thornton pulls the trigger. Not quite.
Got to be happy with that. You know, great penetration, spits it out, swing pass, wide open to their star offensive player. That's excellent offense. Coach will be happy with that. She just didn't knock it down.
Reed to Ruth. Oh, lovely. Feeds and finds.
Great poise. You can see Southside is showing a little bit of a 2-3 there, or maybe a little bit of a matchup arrangement defensively, but Townsville just having their way again. Red Sea parting, if you will, as we see Rochi down the other end getting her way with the one-on-one contest as well.
Marching back to three.
Need from her aggression. Can she put it on the deck? We know she's a great finisher. She's an excellent free throw shooter. More of the same from her. Go at their bigs.
Just Reed again. That first step of hers is just dynamite. Creates space for herself. Well done, Cole. Slaps it clear. Remains a Townsville ball. So, Graphics, these next 3 or 4 minutes that have been the problem for the Flyers in previous meetings. They've started okay, and then they've just dropped off a little, or Townsville have managed to maintain the heat and kick clear.
And that's where the momentum in this next patch will be critical. How do you control that? You know, through your defence, through execution, through a timeout if needed by the coach, through a substitution or a match-up change.
Ruth from long range. They'll be happy for her to take that shot all night, Southside. Blitzarves, Bishop, Cole. Abby calling for it again. She sets up for 3 and makes it.
Huge by Abby Bishop. You know, we saw them not attack that switch in the ball screen action, spits out the Bishop wide open. She can nail that, and, you know, she's one player that the Southside Flyers need to really step up, stand up.
She ties it up. Under 6.5 to go in the opening turn. Nicholson working on Blitzarves. Well done, Lauren Nicholson.
Again, deep in the paint on their penetration at the moment. I know they're leaving one out, one-on-one containment, but there's got to be a little bit more rotation, a bit more support from the rotations on the second line to allow a little bit more confidence when you're playing that one-on-one.
Thornton from long range. Blitzarves over the top, slaps it clear.
Great contest then by Blitzarves on the O boards. 1 versus 3 sandwiched in there, gets a hand on it. That's the sort of possession play you need. And to your point, Screeny, you know, the penetration, the ability to get 2 feet in the paint by multiple players on the Townsville Fire team is a problem for Southside. Then you get caught in that rotation where they're so good at getting a cutter right to the point of the rim. In the men's game, we call it the dunker spot. In the WNBL, we haven't got that many dunkers, so let's call it point of the rim. But that's that next piece of rotation that you talk about. They've got to find a way to get rotation to lock up these attacks at the rim.
Nicholson, screen gets rid of Blitzarves, who then switches onto Ruth.
You know, you'd much rather have Ruth shooting a turnaround jump shot over a hand than a penetration by the perimeter players of the Townsville Fire.
Rochi to the corner for Blitzarves. Nicholson there to try and shut her down. Wants to work with Thornton. Can she find her? Shot clock to 5. Bishop from that spot again.
8 points in the opening quarter for Abby Bishop, leading all scorers at the moment, showing her experience right now as the caliber of player she is, and how nice that Cheryl Chambers has had her on the bench, and she's showing her wares right here in game 2 of this grand final.
As Reed drives successfully on Thornton.
Gosh, she finds a way to finish. Steph Reed, under, over.
Lovely pass, Bishop. Turns provider, Thornton misses.
Ouch.
They get it back.
And Graffy, there's that possession, or that commitment to try and get possession that you were talking about off the start of the game, and the key for Southside Flyers. They obviously contested that, but came up with possession there.
Yeah, keeping them right in this contest.
Bishop to Blitzarves to Rochi. Draws a crowd back to Thornton. Movement from Cole. Shot clock to 3. She could see she was going to Bishop in her favourite spot. Pass just missed the target.
Interesting. Southside Flyers haven't really attacked that switch action that we're seeing on the ball screen. They're hesitant for the guard to take on the big that switched on, waiting perhaps for a second swing of the ball to the other side and then attack. But I think they've got to test that early. I think they need to go at the bigs and see if they can get to the rim.
An early look here for Nadia Poch. Here's Rochi. Having some important touches early. Maddie Rochi goes herself. Tough finish. And away comes Shyla Heel, who's into the game. 23 points in game 1. Came off the bench and top scored. This time she'll work with Reed as Nicholson takes a seat. So Reed versus Rochi. Reed flings it to Hawkins, back to Hill. Goes against Thornton. Well done, Kayla Thornton. Shot clock to 3. Reed pulls from deep. No good. Good stop. Southside, good deep. That'll please Cheryl Chambers.
Kayla Thornton is looking like Kayla Thornton so far. Hasn't made a perimeter shots, but certainly been attacking defensively on the glass.
Fowler on Reed against Rochi.
Loving what I'm seeing early in this first 6 minutes from the Southside Flyers. On the offensive end, the ball movement, the cutting with purpose, the selfless actions that don't get you the stats, but equally the defensive, apart from those couple of penetrations deep, it's been really, really good basketball.
So exciting. Potch. Long-range shooting hasn't quite dropped for her so far in the series. Roof to Reed. Rochi shuts that lane down. Back to Michaela. Heel versus Potch. Akuzo into the action. Wants some movement. Will she take Bishop on? She will. Lovely finish from Zatina.
Wow, nice left-hand rip from the elbow.
Rochi to Thornton. Cole trying to get free of Heel. Spins. Shyla there. Zatina as well. Back out to Bishop, who's been deadly early. This time she just drives and it's wide open.
Smooth, Abby Bishop. Shot fakes that one, puts it on the deck, scoops back into the right-hand side. Gosh, has she started this championship game 2 on fire for the Southside Flyers.
Up to 10 points already. This time does enough to just pressure Reed out of it. Away comes Rochi. Chance here for Southside to hit the front. It's broken up by Townsville defenders and it will remain a Southside ball.
Confident attempt to push then from Rochi's received. Bishop on the replay. Nice little finish with the underhand scoop back to her preferred hand. Leading the way offensively for her group.
The championship with Seattle, of course, Abby Bishop back in 2010. Here's Kayla Thornton. And the Flyers are in front.
Make no mistake about it, this is a different team that we saw at Game 1 up in Townsville. Firing on all cylinders are the Southside Flyers at the moment.
Much more aggressive defensively, up and in, pressure on the ball. Can they get rotation on this one?
Samuelson draws the foul as Potch and Thornton come across to defend.
Samuelson in Game 1 only had the 4 shots. We know how prolific she has been for them in terms of putting punch and score on the scoreboard. But I love that she's not just relying on the 3. They know they've got to close out long to her. They're pushing her off that 3-point line, but she has the ability and skill set to get to the rack as well. And nice to see her going to that early.
That's great. Excellent finisher. Yeah, she can finish under pressure. She can finish with contact and super free throw shooter as well. And that's one of the things about this Townsville Fire team. The depth that they've got, and they're not relying on one person being, the biggest scorer each game. They've got a plethora of scorers. Different people step up at different times based on how they're being defended.
Samuelson, 31 of 34 from the line this season. Cole. Well done, Nicholson. And keeps it alive.
Clearly the Southside Flyers are looking to attack Shyla Hill defensively. Elbow rips at her, trying to post her up. She's done a great job to not be attacked in that situation as Hawkins launches from long range and finds the bottom of the net.
Townsville responding to everything the Flyers are throwing at them early. Entertaining opening term. Got ourselves a contest here in Game 2. Thornton, Potch, Cole trying to work on Nicholson for position. It goes out to Rochi versus Heel. Bishop. Strong screen on Heel and gets the call.
And I'm glad that that call went that way, because what we don't want to see is the physicality taken out of this game. And we know the Southside players, they play with that. Physicality meeting physicality there. 2 players going the right way. You can see Bishop encouraging the rest to let us play, let us play. So it's nice to see that early on that they're allowing this to happen, especially considering it's the championship series.
Yeah, it's that fine line, isn't it, screening? These games are physical. These are professional athletes, highly tuned. It's a physical game, but it's the balance for the referees, to keep it in check, but allow the players to play.
Thornton against Hawkins, 2 of the great imports of the league this season, going at it. Kayla spins through, can't finish. Away comes Heel. Shyla plants the feet and banks it.
Not sure she practices that one in her shooting drills with her dad. However, she'll take it.
So this is the danger period. They now trail by 6.
Interesting. Does Coach Chambers, if they don't score here, pull a timeout?
Rocci.
Oh,
yes.
Puts on the dancing feet if you don't mind. Hawkins also gets a errant hand or elbow of the protection arm of Rocci as she was driving to the rack there. There's been a few bunnies missed by Thornton, but made up equally by Maddie Rocci there. How good is that to show David and Goliath there in terms of how small she is to use her size, or rather her not size, against Hawkins to get a beautiful shot at the ring.
Hawkins wearing a backhander on the way through from Rocci.
nice little fend off by Rocci.
Tiana clearly not happy about it.
Rocci there just looking to take away the shot blocker's hand. Inadvertently popped her in the eye or the nose.
Fire by 4. Final minute of the opening term. Heel. Can she blow past Ernst? She cannot.
Carly Ernst with a block. Not in my house, she says. And they get possession. Massive block.
And just have a look at here. Rocci trying to fight over the screen. Wasn't able to. Ernst had to cover that and was able to just use her length, her 6'3.5" length, to deter Charlotte Heel, and then also force a turnover as well.
Koch can just control it inside. Can she? No, she cannot. Little things.
And that's another facet of Nicholson's game that I love. She's a two-way player. We know that she can put points on the board as well. She's having a great season, averaging touch over 16 points, but defensively she can get up in an underrated player in the WNBL for mine.
Heel. Samuelson. Front iron. Well done, Akuzo. Can't finish. So 6-second differential between shot and game clock. Thornton wants to work on Roof. Tough shot.
Interesting, you know, do you pull that one back out and use a bit more clock, guarantee a bucket?
Akuzo. They've got the option of the last shot if they want it. Heel. Pulls the trigger with 9 seconds, and why not? Akuzo hits the floor. Bucket.
And that's where you mentioned, Garaffi, about knowing the clock, being aware of it, whether you force a shot like Thornton did. We know that she's missed a few bunnies early in this opening quarter, but that miss down there and that forced shot then allows Townsville momentum and potentially a last shot opportunity, and that hurts.
So margin back to 6. Not quite the double-digit blowout that they've suffered in previous meetings against the Fire. Can they peg one back late here? Rocci. Got to go. 3 seconds. Maddie, long range. Front iron.
That would have been a massive momentum swing. Deep three. I'm going to say that was a 4-point attempt.
So a higher score in game 2 than there was in game 1. The Fire putting on Quarter time, game 2, State Basketball Centre in Melbourne. Townsville, one game up in the series, looking to wrap it up tonight and get their hands on the trophy. The Southside Flyers looking to level the series and send it to game 3 at quarter time. It's Townsville by 6 as we start the second term. Rochi and Ernst. Carly for an early strike.
Massive for the Southside Flyers. A little horns flare action. Goes straight to one of their specialist shooters in Carly Ernst. Huge start for them.
Halves the margin back to 3. Samuelson. Akuzo puts it on the floor against Ernst. Spins through Zatina and one.
I have loved that we've seen her get better and better with more court time, more games. We know that she was injured at the start of the season, missed majority of the season, and has just worked her way into fitness and skill at the moment. Have a look at the footwork there. Ernst tried to overplay her on the right-hand side. Bigger body, stronger body, was able to just find herself to the rack.
Graffy, how good could Zatina Akuzo be?
This is the conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, look, she's, beautiful athlete, got great skill set. But, we saw her then. Mobility, footwork. Being injured hasn't helped this year, but I think she's, I think she's going to be a late bloomer. I think the more people try and talk someone up and their potential, puts pressure on them. She's with a good coach who can help develop her. I think she's got a wonderful career ahead of her, but it's going to take time, and she's got to get, back in shape after that injury.
Little shimmy move from Thornton. Won't go. She's 1 for 8 now, Kayla. Just not dropping for her at the moment. Heel. Nicholson cuts inside. Potch gets some separation. Tempo just rising a touch early in this second term. Potch. She drives. Slapped away. She somehow gets it back and finishes.
Great possession play. Stayed on the play. Great thing there. She missed a shot that she probably should make, but stayed on the play, got a no board, padded her stats and got a finish.
Plunging back to 4. Heel versus Rochi. Charlotte tries to turn the corner. Supplies Hawkins. Back to Heel. Rochi right up and in her face. Charlotte puts it on the floor. Roof gets it to go.
Wow, they do that well. When the Townsville 5 penetrate, regardless of who it is, they know Michaela Roof is going to be on the point of the rim. They know they draw help, pop it down to her, pop it over the top, and she's going to get an easy 2.
Blitzarves to Potch. Testing out Nicholson. We say how good is Zatina Akuzo going to be? Well, how good is Nadia Potch going to be?
She's an opal for mine. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when in the next couple of years. She's been an X factor for them coming off the bench, especially since they lost Lauren Jackson. She wasn't getting much court time prior to that, but what has she's been able to add? The youth, the excitement, the fast break is just beautiful, as is that play right
pass from Ruth to Samuelson.
A wrap-around pass, Samuelson rejected that dribble handoff, curls back around. And that's players having drilled together, played together. What a great two-man game.
Margin at 6. Blitzarves to Rochi. Potch in the corner. Maddie steps through. Blitzarves wraps around. Lovely play.
More of the same. Great pass out, screening, spits it out to the shooter. Team hoop.
Beautiful secondary action on the weak side there from the Southside Flyers. Distracted by Rochi's penetration.
Samuelson, Hawkins, seen some quality basketball in game 2. Offensive foul on Tiana.
Massive call, Sarah Blitzarves, great job. Get her body in front, took a hit on the chest.
Screeny, your thoughts?
Theatrics are great and they'll win you force some hand at the referees, but a lot hasn't gone through the Southside Flyers either. We see Hawkins go to the bench now with the 2 fouls, pushing her to the bench early. We don't see that very often for Townsville. They've done a great job. If I'm Southside Flyers coaching staff, I'm happy with Hawkins right now with the 4 points, knowing how impactful she can be.
Ernst inbounds to Conti, who's into the game. Mon to Blitzarves. Cole against Nicholson, out to Ernst. Gets Akuzo off balance. Bishop, Conti. Bishop keeps it alive. Cole sets up.
Wow, great ball movement for Southside Flyers. Keep possession, have another crack at it. They just can't get that 3-ball to drop.
Roof to Heel. Settles things down. Gets past Conti. Supplies Michaela Roof. Rattles around and won't drop. Southside ball.
Southside will be okay for Roof to take that. We've seen her in a couple of games, nail a few, but, she hovers around that low 30% from the 3-point line across her career. If you're going to give something up, give that up.
Conti versus Reed. Ernst from long range. She said, like that spot tonight, Southside. Abby Bishop made a couple early on. Samuelson weaving through traffic. There's the feed. Akuzo couldn't hang on this time.
And they're the turnovers that you can kind of live with, because that's the pick and roll action, the two-player game. There's Satina there setting great screens for Samuelson coming off. We know how good a shooter she is, so she's going to draw D. The execution of the pass just didn't wear off. But to Shannon, they're kind of the turnovers that you'll live with.
Well done, Steph Reed. Knocks it away from Conti.
Boy, is she a defender.
And she gives Mon a taste of her own medicine.
Tully Bevilacqua-esque. That's a mouthful, but Tully Bevilacqua, WNBL great player, played in the WNBA, is now coaching as assistant. The Phoenix Mercury, was a relentless defender.
And now Mon trying to get up and in on Reed. It's Woods versus Cole. Courtney into the game. Back to Reed versus Conti. Turns the corner. Akuzo there to help. Reed still looking. Wrapped around. Roof. Past Conti. Ernst does well. Knocks it clear and away comes Bishop. Cole on the burst. Conti under the hoop. Beck goes herself. 2-point game, approaching the midway point of the second term.
And this is the first time in a long time, I think, since January 5th, when the Townsville Fire went on the winning streak, that I feel like they're a little bit frazzled. They have just lost their way a little bit on the offensive end because of the physicality rise from Southside Flyers.
This timeout brought to you by CTM Sport. If you're travelling interstate with your team, ctmsport.com.au. Let's find out what is happening inside that Townsville huddle. Here's Shannon.
Good job. Hey, we're fine, right? It's loud, make sure we're talk, right? Early talk on the late switch with Ernst, right? Yeah. Well, if that's the case and they're on the ball, then just go, right? But don't fucking let them turn the corner, though, right? Hey, next right, go 5 side, right? And go, so Steph, you throw it to Z, right? Come pick Z. If you can turn the corner again, right? If not, pop, and then we'll play off that, right? Here we go, we're fine here. Fire.
Apologies for the colourful language. Let's take you inside the Southside huddle. Candy was there.
Well, judging by what you just said, Jace, I can tell you it was a very different energy and tone with Southside. Cheryl was very reassuring, saying, we're okay, we're still in this. Even if we miss a few bunnies, she congratulated them on the 3 stops. We also know that Shyla's a big part of their game plan tonight, and she's trying to get them to push her to the left.
Abby Bishop, 10 points for Southside. Carly Samuelson has 7 for the Fire, who lead by 2, approaching the midway point of the second term, and now they lead by 4.
Steph Reed, boy, Conti's up and in her grill. That's the balance you got to play with Steph Reed. Yes, pressure, but then once you're approaching that 3-point line, now you play containment. Steph Reed winning that little battle on Conti. Smart play.
Blitz arms to Ernst, to Cole. Back to Conti. Now to blitz arms. She go herself. She's got Cole open. Beck from long range. Just grazes the front of the rim.
Oh, Abby Bishop lighting it up early from the 3-point line. Southside Flyers now 3 of 10 from the 3-point line. It's dried up a little bit out there as Bishop takes the foul.
Another little feed there from Samuelson to Roof. Just got such great understanding on offense.
They do. They're methodical in the way they go about it. They set good screens. They're selfless in their actions, and they just wait for the defense to then allow them to dictate what they're going to do next. And they've always got multiple reads, as we see one of the greats of the AFL in Malthouse sitting along.
Yeah, there's Mick alongside Nanette, and Jerry Ryan, the owner of the Flyers, immediately behind Mick Malthouse. Great supporter of Australian sport, particularly Australian women's sport. Stepped in to help save the Southside Flyers. There's Brendan Favola, former Carlton and Brisbane forward.
If that's his daughter, we might try and get her a WNBL contract sometime soon.
Kayla Roof makes the second. We're into the second half of this quarter number 2. Fire by 6. Thornton. Bishop was deadly early. This feels like you want to get it in the hands of Abby Bishop. She's 5 from 5, 12 points.
Run some horns action like we saw for Ernst. Maybe get it, she's rolling in it from out there. If she hasn't got the perimeter shot, she can slip to the rim. She's keeping them in touch offensively.
Woods against Bishop now doing the work at the defensive end. And Southside come up with the turnover. Blitzarbs. There's Bishop. Rochi, tough pass. Too big for Thornton, hits the backboard, and it's taken away by Roof.
Took a little long to realise there was a mismatch down low. Samuelson working hard then on Thornton.
Reed tries to shake Rochi. Steadies and finishes.
I continue to be amazed by Steph Reed and the development of her career over the last couple of years, especially under the tutelage of Shannon Seaborn. She is now one of the premier point guards, I believe, in the WNBL, and it's nice to see her create a name for herself up north, the Victorian. As we see the physicality, don't underestimate the contest that's going on between those 2 point guards in Rochi and Reed right now.
Cheryl Chambers having a chat with the referee as Bet Cole hits a wet spot on the floor and takes a tumble. Chance for both teams to just collect their thoughts with 3:49 left in the first half. Graffy Fire by 6. Flies hanging in.
Yeah, they are. And look, it's a close 6. Sometimes you look up at 6 and it could be 10 or 12. But, you know, this is feeling like a 2-4 point ball game. It keeps hovering back and forth there. You know, smart timeout early when it got back to 1. C-bomb shut that momentum straight down, particularly in someone else's gym. Take the crowd out of it, go back to what's working, regroup your team, and we saw the men come out of that timeout, dissect the offense. Southside are right in this thing.
Blitzarms against Samuelson, and now Roof comes across. Bullet pass to the corner for Rochi, who steps on the baseline.
And defensively, the Townsville Fire, we talk about their offensive execution, their ability to make great reads. Defensively, they're on the money on their scouts. They're jamming all these drivers to their left hand. They're sending them baseline. That's clearly their rules. And they're forcing turnovers.
Absolutely. And it's not just one effort. Their rotations are multiple. It's one rotation to the next to the next. Their ability to scramble and, as we say, find a way works sublimely for the Townsville Fire.
Roof. Pressure from Thornton. Now to Samuelson. Akuzo. She go herself against Bishop. She will. Crashing in there was Nicholson. Scraps with Bishop. Jump ball.
Big play. Bishop got him out of jail then. Townsville happy to execute, grind you out. They're happy to go down to the last 4 seconds of that shot clock. Bishop stands up tall. Nicholson with grit to stay on the O board.
Will remain a Townsville ball. Samuelson, Akuzo, back to Carly. Can almost pull the trigger from the corner. Potch is there. Bishop wrenches it away. Potch dives on it. They come from all sides. Another jump ball will be Southside's.
And we talked about possession, the screen, loose ball possession, bodies on the floor. This is what we talk about when we talk about physicality, possession play.
And that's what Potch will bring you. Obviously, Abby Bishop's hands was in there and started that steal, but Potch, that young, youth, energetic flavour, the willingness to dive on the loose ball. She did that in game 1 too. She had the 2 steals. She tried to change momentum in that third quarter. Just had no one else supporting her, but nice to see her getting some time here in this early first half.
This timeout brought to you by the league's naming rights sponsor, Cygnett. You won't want to miss it of the action. Extensive range of Aussie designed digital accessories. Cygnett.com. Let's take you inside the Southside huddle. Here's Cheryl Chambers.
Keep hustling. It'll pay off. Keep hustling. We're going to go 32 next time. KT, I want you to come back into the ball screen. I want you to spread the floor. Okay? Are you all right with it? So it's a stagger. She's coming off. She's getting the ball. You come back and set the pick. That's all. Read whether you roll or whether you dive. There's a good tip. You read it. Yeah. Go on, Coley. Now, you need to relax with the referees. No more talking to them, okay? There we go. Southside.
I like that. The energy focus, how do you control it? Really, really important. We don't want to be distracted by the referees and get weighed up into that conversation. Just focus on the controllables and what we can. And right now, if I'm the Southside Flyers and Cheryl, I'm happy with where we're at. But this last 3 minutes of the second term is really critical.
Yeah, massive, and you're absolutely right. It's about how do you handle pressure? Pressure of the referees, pressure of missing shots, pressure of the crowd, pressure of momentum swings. That's the right call by the coach to say, hey, chill out, focus on what you can. Containment D, get on the rim.
Maddie Rochi to Cole. Bishop in the corner. Beck looking in that direction. Bishop now heads baseline. Beck needs support. It's Thornton, has some time, tough shot. Still won't drop for Kayla Thornton, 1 for 9 now.
Wow, she's making some nice moves. I mean, got to say, defended pretty well by Ruth, but Kayla Thornton makes those. We've seen her make big move after big move throughout the season.
Heads up from Ruth, saw the opportunity and took it, but couldn't finish. Thornton, Rochi, Cole. Wants to back down on Shyla Hill and finishes nicely.
They've been working that one. They've been trying to go at here with that guard. First time it's actually come off for them. They've tried it 3 attempts. It hasn't worked, but Cole gets that one.
Beck with the job on Shyla at the moment defensively as well. Reed versus Rochi. That battle continues. Bishop gets a hand in the face of Steph Reed. Akuzo, well done, Rochi.
For any young point guard watching at home, the ability for Steph Reed to come off that pick and roll with such poise, just watch it hesitate, eyes on the rim, engages a taller defender and Abby Bishop. It keeps her dribble alive, is so imperative when you're trying to make plays.
Receives it back to Akuzo. Steph Reed against Potch. Couple of the young guns going at it. Well done, Nadia Potch.
Wow, what an athlete. I mean, we've seen Reed break down some great point guard defenders, Rochi being one of them, and then Potch just maintains her space, keeps her feet moving, uses her length.
Cole, Bishop, not this time. Inside the last 2 minutes of the opening half. Heel. Ruth. Nice feed through to Reed, who's confronted by Bishop. So heads back out to Shyla. Shot clock to 7. Gets a screen from Akuzo, gets around Potch, and again, Potch does enough to pressure the shot. Bishop doesn't get everything she wanted on that pass. The bodies hit the floor as Rochi and Akuzo.
A welcome breather for everyone here as we see no shots falling at the moment, but the game's still going. As we see Zatina wearing that one, or should I say Maddie Rochi in the full court there. But a nice little moment just to take a breath for both teams, compose themselves. Last minute and a half, about 4 possessions to go.
What have you made of the tempo, Graffy, of the opening half?
I think it's exactly where Southside Flyers want it to be. Good, you know, they're intense in the half court. It hasn't been up and down a lot, but that's how you want this game to be played with your Southside Flyers. You want it more of a half court grind. Take the opportunities if they're there in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock, but this is exactly where they want it.
Cole over the top of Akuzo. And Beck adds 2 more. She's up to 8 points.
She's been great for them in the all final series, semi-finals, and let's not forget game 1 when she had the 20 points and 4 rebounds. Leading from the front is their spiritual leader.
Nicholson versus Potch. Nadia tries to knock it away from behind, and Lauren finishes.
Wow, classy. Lauren Nicholson, again, you know, Potch trying to make a big defensive play. Nicholson just changes direction.
Bishop, Cole. Response from Southside. They remain within 2. 45 seconds to play in the opening half. Reed.
Massive defensive stanza here for the Southside Flyers. They must come up with stops.
Nicholson steps back. Long range is good.
Youth versus a star player there. Got stuck almost going under that screen. Gave Nicholson a wide open 3 off the dribble. She'll nail that anytime. Shoots an amazing clip.
5-second differential between shot and game clock. Cole in some traffic. Tough finish from Beck off the glass.
It was Bishop in the first quarter. Now it's Beck Cole in the second. 2 experienced players for the Southside leading the front at the moment.
Good game this, game 2. 2-point game, final play of the first half. Akuzo. And the Fire lead it by 1 possession at the major break. It's Townsville 41, Southside 39. The Fire 1 game up, looking to close it out tonight. The Flyers fighting for survival, Graffy, and they're hanging in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw him down the stretch there. Screening, you mentioned it. Bishop set it up for him in the first quarter with her offense and her ability to rebound the ball defensively for them. Beck Cole, boy, she stood up in this last few minutes of the second quarter. This is a ball game going down to the wire in my mind.
Southside win that quarter 21-17. They trailed by 6 points at quarter time. It's 2 points at the half. Abby Bishop's been enormous with 12 points. Here she is with Candy.
Abby, clearly a very different Southside today. Tell me what's been adjusted from your perspective.
Yeah, look, I think it's just our defence. That's been our focus these last couple of days. They had stuff too early in game one, and we've come out today really physical, and both teams are super physical, and it's working in our advantage right now, but there's still a whole 2 quarters to go.
Now, you talk about physicality, but I'm going to talk to you about mental. You look really calm out there. I don't know if that's what you're feeling, but that's what it looks like. 5 from 6. Is this game going to be won with that mental or the physicality?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a veteran and who's been around, you've got to be calm, cool and collected, and that rubs off on the other girls as well. So for me, that was definitely my mentality coming in, but also I knew I had to step up. I've been really slack the last couple of games and really wanted to come in and help my team any way I can. So, yeah.
We've done an incredible job stepping up tonight. What do you think coach is going to say now at this half-time?
I think she'll be really happy. Obviously, we need to make a few adjustments on the on-ball screens. Charlotte's made a couple of shots, but overall she'll be happy and she'll just be getting at us to continue how we're going for these last 2 quarters.
Abby, really enjoyable to watch you tonight. Good luck for the second half.
Thank you.
Abby Bishop, she's been a half-time game 2 of the Cygnett WNBL Grand Final Series. It was the Fire by 6 points at quarter time. The Flyers fighting back in that second term. They won the quarter 21-17 to reduce the margin to just 2 at the half. And at the major break, it's Townsville 41, Southside 39. Carrie Graff, Jenny Screen, very different feeling game this one, game 2. Graffy, let's start. The tendency always to look at the team that lost game 1 and what they've adjusted. What's working for Southside so far tonight?
They're playing Southside Flyers hoop. Defend, rebound, and then run. It hasn't been so much of a running game tonight, but they've defended. Other than they made some adjustments, they didn't contain him probably the first 2 defensive sets of the game. Other than that, they made some good adjustments. They've done a much better job on possession. We've seen people crash the offensive boards. We've seen Abby Bishop at the defensive end light it up. And then offensively, speak of that lady, Abby Bishop stroking the perimeter shot in that first quarter, and then Cole stepped up offensively in the second. But they're playing Southside possession deep.
And Screening, a couple of times when it looked like they'd fire might just kick away, 6 or 8 point lead. Southside this time able to just stabilise the situation, not let it get out of hand.
And that's called deflections, getting steals, forcing the turnovers. They've forced the Fire into 7 turnovers, which is unheard of. They had 5 in that quarter alone, so that is working for them emphatically. But let's not take anything away from Townsville either. They're playing really great hoop. We know what they're capable of. You know, they'll readjust in the second half. But when we look at the stats there, for me, there's not really much difference both teams. They're shooting around the same clip, rebounds around the same. It's a turnover difference, 7-2 in favour of the Southside Flyers. So all in all, we've got a great game too in our hands.
Spoke about the importance of possession, Graffi. Well, Southside have had 3 more shots than Townsville in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's come from their ability to try and get second shots to lock up defensive stops. But they're on the money here, you know, and as you said, Screening, the stats are matched up. It's a 2-point ball game, you know, and we're saying, oh, Southside are great. Townsville are winning by 2.
The best thing about these stats on the screen right now is the 2 players that we think would have an impact are Thornton and Hawkins, and both right now are crossing each other out. Thornton is forcing a little bit. I think the focus a little bit too much on her, 1 of 9, and Hawkins had the 2 fouls early in that second quarter. But Bet Cole, she for mine, has been so good alongside Abby Bishop for the Southside Flyers.
And they've stepped up at different times, Graffi. Early on it was Abby Bishop that got them just steadied and settled it into the game, and then when they needed a burst of energy in that second quarter, up stepped Beck.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, her eyes lit up. She was going, I think, a little bit too early, going at Shiloh Hill. Forced a couple early in that first quarter, but that second quarter, offensively, it was all Bet Cole for the Southside Flyers.
So let's talk about what the teams can do differently. What can they get going in the second half? Obviously, Southside, you touched on Kayla Thornton, 1 of 9.
Absolutely. I think they can continue to distribute the ball, not just focus wholeheartedly on her. Let the game come to her organically, and when they get out and run, and we know what she's capable in the break, continue to do more of the same. Force Townsville into the forcing, you know, the shots that we haven't seen them do, and continue to make Hawkins not get the ball as much as she has seen in the opening stages of these final series.
And from a Townsville perspective, anything they can tweak and adjust?
No, look, I think they'll be reasonably happy with their game plan. They'll tweak a few little things, but nothing major. I think they got out of jail a little bit on their switching defence. I don't think Southside attacked that switching, particularly in the first quarter, but they'll look to keep doing what they do well. Put the ball on the deck, get back in the key, pump the ball inside to Akuso, and see if they can continue to score how they know they can, and that's by getting their feet in the paint.
You mentioned, we spoke about the tempo midway through the first half. You feel like the tempo's comfortable for Southside?
Well, it's in their ballpark. They're around the point that they want to be. They know we know they can hold teams to 76 points on the season. So right now, considering Townsville have got the 39 points, they're okay right now. Sorry, the 41 rather. They're okay. They're doing really well defensively. That output has been great. They're getting great contributions across the board from a lot of players. Now it's, I think, how are Townsville going to respond? Not only to the 5 players on the court and the team on the bench, but the crowd as well.
They've been so solid, Townsville, Graffi. They've won in all different ways across their 15-game winning streak. They've won those last gasp thrillers where it looks like the game was slipping away. They've won by being out in front. You just know that they're so solid that the system's just going to stand up.
Absolutely, and you'll hear Coach Seabum talk about that. You know, trust the process. You know, rely on our process. We know what to do. We know how to counter-attack. They're on the money. This is going to go all the way to the wire. Is it one for them to lose?
Speaking of Shannon, here he is with Candy.
Shannon, a very different Southside tonight. What are you going to need to adjust?
Yeah, they've played hard. They've played really physical. You know, I think we need to adjust to the fact that the refs are going to let the players play, and I think we haven't done that very well. Obviously, defensively, we've had way too many breakdowns on Abby Bishop and Beck Cole, so we'll try and tidy that up. And offensively, hopefully find a bit better flow and rhythm. And then we'll be
Is this game going to be won mentally or physically?
I think it's a mental game, to be honest. Like, obviously, it's very physical, but when that happens, you start to lose concentration. I think if we can lock back in, we'll be all right.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Shannon. Back to you, Jace.
There's the thoughts of Shannon Seabom, Candy. I believe you've also got Cheryl Chambers standing by.
I sure do. Cheryl, congratulations. A fantastic first half. You must be thrilled with the results so far.
Oh, look, happy with the second quarter. Not so happy we had a few more breakdowns in the first quarter, but yeah, happy with the second quarter, and we can rebound a little bit more and put some pressure on it. It'll be good.
So what's going to change now this second half to make sure you get that W?
Oh, look, I think both teams, who's going to stay the most poised and the most physical. So I don't think that there'll be much changes on either side. I guess the score sort of reflects that, but probably just trying to get the game plan a little better.
Congratulations on a great first half. Looking forward to the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chambers, Shannon Seabohm, we appreciate their time at half-time. We get set for third quarter action. It's a 2-point game in game 2 of the grand final. Townsville, are they a half away from another title? Or is Southside a half away from levelling this series? It's Townsville 41, Southside 39. Second half action from the State Basketball Centre, game 2 of the grand final series. Townsville 1 game up, looking to close it out tonight. Southside fighting for survival. Reed, wide open to start the second half, can't finish, but Ruth's there. She can't put it back either. Pulls it out and they reset. Hawkins, that's what they needed from Tiana.
For someone that only played 9 minutes in the opening half, nice to see Hawkins find the bottom of the net because she only held to 4 points in that opening term, but great job to see her letting it fly.
She's barely been off the court all season, Tiana Hawkins. Lovely finish from Cole. How tough was that?
Big Cole starts out where she left off, finds a great finish.
Reed, Hawkins, Samuelson cuts through. Here's Nicholson. Short. Away comes Kayla Thornton. Can she get into the game in this second half? Rochi versus Reed over the top. Lovely find to Blitzards, who misses the first, misses the second. Knocks it out, but it's taken by Reed.
Ouch. Went inside. Nicholson on her back. Couldn't
Here's
find
Hawkins
it.
again. Spins through. Misses. Lovely move, but can't finish. Rochi There's that play inside to blitz arms again. Back out to Bishop. Thought about going for three. Cole. Back to Abby. This time she does.
Thought she could have taken that first one. Screening, she was wide open. She's shooting the ball well. That one, then she shoots deeper, over a hand.
Ruth wants to work on Thornton. Gets it back. Bounces it out to Nicholson.
Wow, Ruth has been tough on the possession play, getting after the O boards, couldn't quite find the finish in there, but then finding a way to spit it back out to the perimeter players.
Both teams looking to lock down on D in this third term. It's a three-point game. Cole over Samuelson and one.
Beck Cole on fire.
Big time play and moments come from big time players. Beck Cole, she rises to these occasions. Fall down on the scout there. Samuelson had it going left, should have kept it that way, but we know Beck Cole loves to come back on her right and making buckets.
You could feel the tension at the start of this second half. You know, both teams knowing for Southside, it's do or die. For Townsville, can they win it on the road?
Scores level. Reed to Hawkins. Samuelson back to Steph. Does she drive herself? Rochi there to try and prevent that happening. Puts the step on. Thornton. Well done, Kayla Thornton. Steph Reed doesn't like the call, saying it's off Kayla's foot.
Have a look at this. Rochi playing high side, keeping her on her left. Thornton probably got away with a foul there, as we see Steph Reed pleading. It
was definitely off Kayla's foot.
Case.
And probably, as you say, screw yeah, they could well. But the referees, look, they've been consistent. They're allowing the players to play. They're not blowing a whistle early. They're going to allow the players to play. And
Cole, Thornton to put the Flyers in front, blow the roof off SBC.
Wow.
She does!
And that's a more effective play for her. Isolation on one side, get everyone on the weak side, give her some space to manoeuvre with.
Reed to Ruth. And responds. It rolls around and drops for Michaela, who then intercepts the inbound, heads up play to Hawkins. Brilliant, Michaela Ruth.
Massive possession play by Ruth. Smart, savvy, steals that inbound pass and finds her teammate streaming for an easy finish.
And just like that, they steal back the lead and silence the crowd. Cole in traffic. Bishop open. Michaela Ruth having a big minute here. Off to Reed. Will she blow by Rochi? Well done, Maddie Rochi.
Wow. Mirror of the play almost. Steph Reed more happy with that. Didn't feel she got the foul. Big play by Michaela Ruth on that inbounds pass.
And that's what she brings Townsville, those little effort plays that aren't statable, those intangibles. And as we saw Shannon Stevens spoke about at halftime, the mental side of this game is really important now, especially in this third quarter. A few calls haven't gone way of the Townsville Fire. How do they respond here?
It's arms to Rochi. Reed saw the opportunity, just ripped it out of her arms. Steph Reed, brilliant. Waits for support to arrive. Hawkins. Samuelson makes some space. Nicholson under the hoop, clears out. Reed and Rochi. Steph can just go herself.
Her composure, her poise.
And she's getting fired up, Steph Reed. Couple of calls didn't go her way. She just shrugged it off and said, that's all right. Have some of this.
And we spoke about it, right? The battle between the 2 point guards, elite point guards in our league, two that are in the Opal squad, but you can see the passion and also a little probably a release of frustration that is going her way because 2 calls prior haven't gone her way, and right now she just showed her where.
Timeout brought to you by DIY Blinds. Here's Cheryl.
Okay, remember forcing them left, not right.
That was Spanish, so that's not a Spanish.
Oh, so it wasn't the guard. We switched the point guard and you.
I wasn't in it.
Or whoever it is. We switched the two. We switched. Listen, it's our rule that we've had the whole time. We're switching those two, staying with the shooter. Okay? Everything's fine. I want to go, listen, I want to go chest next play. Chest to the double
talking about there, obviously, just making sure everyone's on the same page defensively. Stick to our rules, no confusion if we're switching, communicate it. Good momentum timeout here, just keep that margin close. But we talk about, you know, mental skills and composure and poise. Steph Reid, poise personified, as you say, Screeny. Two plays that didn't go away and then comes up huge.
Candy was in the Townsville huddle.
Yeah, he mentioned to them just to remember that with the pick and roll to do a late switch, so make sure you look out for that. He also just told them to relax. They're still in it.
They lead by 4. 6 minutes to play in the third. Rochi against Reid. Cole, well done. Nicholson almost stole it with it back to the play. Back to Maddie, over the top. Bishop. Out to Thornton. Can Kayla get something going here? 5 seconds on the clock. Just not dropping tonight for Kayla. Here's Reid. Cole read it nicely, picked it off. Here's Thornton. Against Reid. Runs into traffic. Well done, Steph Reid. Blitzarves comes across. Keeps it alive. Can't finish. Still Thornton. What a scramble.
What a crowd. What a game. The effort, the relentlessness, the persistence to stay on the play from both teams is exceptional right now. You can just see the want from both.
One possession game again. Townsville by 2 as we hit the midway point of this third term. Pulsating game 2 of the grand final. Hawkins to Ruth. Michaela gets isolation against Blitzarves. And away comes Thornton with a rebound.
Big defensive stop then, all the way down to the shot clock.
Rochi ran into some trouble. Gets herself out of it. Thornton. Cole, good first step. Samuelson, lovely pass. Bishop to the corner. Blitzarves!
And that's what I love about Blitzarves. She hasn't really had an impact statistically on the game yet. She only had 2 points to that point, only taking the 4 shots before that one, but yet can shoot a big shot and make it when it matters.
Southside up by 1. Reid working on Rochi. Steph, will she go herself? She wants this basket, can't get it.
Wow, what a grind. Defensive, offensive, back and forth. Rochi, good D there to keep Reid in front.
Classic grand final basketball right now. Neither team giving an inch. Thornton will keep pulling the trigger.
Warming up, Kayla Thornton, huge now.
Timeout called. Southside up by 4. They've got the momentum right now with 4 minutes to play in the third.
How good is this? Just control basketball. They could have pushed. They could have forced in the break there. But Kayla Thornton just rising up out of that screen as they're overplaying low. Popped up high and went whack from downtown.
Southside Flyers making a challenge here in this third term. Townsville, 15 straight wins. Haven't lost since January 5. Generally so calm and composed. Here's Shannon.
Go here. Right, so Hawk, screen for Shy. Loz, screen for Cole. Hawk, screen for Loz. Throw it here. Go to the corner. Hawk, you get out. And then Ruth's coming into that with you, Carl, right? Now, set the back pick, right? Set the back pick. Come off it aggressively. If you draw 2, then look for the weak side players, right? Hey, wait, we're fine here. We just need to settle it, then we're good, right? Here we go. Fine.
Generally so stable, aren't they? Whether they're winning big or they're not in trouble, but under pressure like they are here, demeanour doesn't change.
Absolutely, and that, I mean, both coaches are like that. Cheryl Chambers and Seabom, calm, collected. They're not high or low, and that's how their teams generally play. And that, particularly in these instances, that's how they need to keep it. Unless they need to correct something, that's it. Stay calm or okay. Quick to pull the trigger on the momentum timeout with Seabom.
Charlotte Hill brings it back up the floor. Team trials by 4. Inside 4 minutes in the third term. Nicholson runs into Cole. Offensive foul. It'll be a Southside ball. Here's another look at the collision. Clash of heads, was it?
Shoulder to chest.
Yeah, tough call. I'd love to see that one on the replay again. Really hard to get a gauge there on that one. But coming out of a timeout, huge play in the context of the game from Southside Flyers to force that when it was Townsville's possession.
And who but? Beck Cole, the spiritual leader.
Candy was in that last Southside huddle, Candy.
Yeah, sure. Only one message from Cheryl, just to keep the ball moving. But let's just talk for a moment about passion. If you had the videos in that huddle, you would have thought that Cole was screaming at her team. She wasn't. It was just passion all over her face, and it is pouring out all over the team.
They lead by 4 right now. Cole to Bishop. Looking for an option. Well done, Shyla Heal. Great defence from Townsville. They turn it into attack and half the deficit. Ruth knocks it away.
Ruth's defence on that inbound pass. A great opal that you played with, screening for a long time, Michelle Brogan. It was her MO, did this beautifully.
It was very good. Bishop's done it in her career as well. Just the cheeky hand as they're running down in D-trans.
This game on a knife edge right now. What a contest. Blitzarves receives from Thornton and gives to Cole, who steps past Nicholson, finds some space up the middle.
What you didn't see in that action, because you're probably focusing on Betpol and the ball, is the action happening off ball to allow that to happen. The cutting action, the screening, the physicality on the cuts from both teams, absolutely sensational.
Heel bounces it through. Ruth can't get a handle. And Southside right now are feeling it.
And their defensive intensity's gone up a notch as well. As you say, screening, multiple screen actions, activate the defence, keep them decoyed, and Cole makes a great read while that action's happening. People are negotiating picks straight down the gut for a great finish.
She's up to 19 points, 12 for Bishop, 10 for Reed, 9 for Hawkins. Tiana 4 from 5. Hasn't had a huge influence on the game in terms of a lot of possession in her hands, but still having an impact with 9 points. She's been very efficient. Cole, Rochi, every possession under enormous pressure right now at both ends of the floor. Bishop, Blitzarves, Cole, back to Abby, creates a bit of space. Not this time.
Maybe a little fatigue showing in Bishop's legs there. You know, we talked about this game staying in the 70s. At this rate, it could well be in the 60s. Now we're talking old school.
But I'm loving it. The contest, there is no breathing room for any player right now on any catch. It's all proactive, no reactive. And then we've got to look at counters. And right now, no team is really counteracting the defence.
Hawkins against Bishop. It's a great game for the purists, this one. Heel. Nothing there this time. Heavy work off the ball there between Thornton and Heel. And Shyla then slaps it away from Rochi. Hits the floor. Foul called. Disruptive D from Shyla Heel once again.
Yeah, these two going at it. Good hands, Shyla Heel. Maddie Rochi takes a dive at it.
I'm actually confused, as probably everyone at home, actually, whose call it is or which way it's going. Is it a Rochi foul? Is it a Heel foul? Great contest, though, either way. Reed, Rochi, Heel. Small in stature, but big in heart are all these players.
So it did go the way of Townsville. And Kayla Ruth will have the inbound. 2 minutes to play in the third term. Flyers up by 4, fighting for their season. Game 3 if required, Saturday night in Townsville. You'll see it right here on ESPN and KO. Samuelson from long range. Rochi goes up and pulls down the board.
Some physicality on the screen actions now. Big screen hits from the screener. Defenders fighting their way through picks. Referees allowing it to be not to be called.
It's arms to Bishop, to Rochi. Maddie against Reed. Works off it, can't finish. Crashing in over the top was Potch. Townsville ball.
Talked about possession, that's what you need. Even if you can't get possession, can you get a hand on it? Can you force it onto someone else's hand? And at least you get to set up your defence. Ball goes out of bounds, you can get your press in, you can make something happen, grind their guard over. Potch, great job on the O-glass.
Rochi and Blitzarves sit down, have an extended three-quarter time break as Monconti's back into the game. Against Reed. Thornton trying to contain her. Heel puts it on the floor against Potch. Tough finish. Drew a foul.
And that's where Potch couldn't use her length to advantage. Probably get a little bit more separation on that closeout against the smaller Shyla Heel there. But Steph Reed, again, showing her class, keeping her dribble alive under penetration, not picking it up when she's deep in the paint, able to dribble in, dribble out, lull the defense into a false sense of security, and then find an open player there.
So no one in major foul trouble at the moment. Potch has 2, Hawkins 2, as Hill makes the first.
And it's funny, we look at the stat line of Townsville Fire, who's having an impact, but it's everyone. Steph Reed's the only player in double digits right now. Nicholson 6, Hawkins 9, Roof 8.
Kuzo keeps it alive. Critical play from Zatina. Hawkins, Samuelson. Shot clock to 5. Back out to Tiana. A slight fumble might work to her advantage. Tough finish. Bishop can't control it. And it remains a Townsville ball.
And she knew it. She was frustrated there. I loved her accountability at halftime too, saying, I'm one of the veterans in this team. It's about time I step up as well. And she's definitely doing that in the opening half and here in the third as well.
Fresh 14 for Townsville. Heel.
Clear focus here for the Townsville Fire. Look to attack Potch. Get her engaged in actions.
Hawkins. Reed against Conti. Steph probing now against Cole. Shot clock will beat them. Heel keeps it alive. Ball hit the rim just in time. Akuzo can finish.
And they're the buckets that hurt. That's the 10th offensive rebound for the Townsville Fire. They're the possession game we spoke about. That relentlessness for the Fire to persist on the offensive glass has been massive in this third quarter.
8-second differential between shot and game clock. 1-point game over the top. Cole, tough gather, can't control it. Townsville ball.
Now, Shyla Hill in the last couple of minutes, defensive actions, crashing the O-glass, finding a way to get herself to the rim.
How quickly momentum can swing in just a couple of plays.
The beauty of sport, Jace. How good is it? I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat, riding it, as you can hear through the TV. The crowd as well, enjoying every moment of this spectacle.
Last play of the third, Conti fouls Reed.
I don't mind that foul. She probably was going to get a blow by there. She's coming off the bench with one job, and that is to be relentless and annoying against Steph Reed when she can be. And she's the type of player that can just wear those fouls because she knows her minutes aren't going to be big, but at least she can set up, or the team can set up this last little stoppage on defense.
7 seconds inbound to Reed. Here's Conti right in her face again. Can Steph get past? She turns the corner and finishes.
Clinic, point guard clinic.
And gives Townsville the lead at three-quarter time. What a game we have. It was the 5 by 6 at quarter time, by 2 at the half. The Flyers got their noses in front in the third term. But as we turn for home in game 2, it's Townsville 57, Southside 56.
This is it. We just have to fucking fight now. It's a fight, right? This is good. Great fucking job. Hey, yeah, right? O boards every fucking time, right? Hey, let's go here, go reverse, right? When it comes back to the point guard, right? Z, you're there, right? So make a lead to get it, right? Wide pin down for Carly, right? So put Carly in that corner. Now, when you come off, right, soft curl it, so we can throw that. You've got your jump. And then the big diving, if they help up, we'll roll it in, right? Hey, this is it. All season, right? We fucking pride ourselves on defense. Get stops and run. Hey, on the breakdown stuff, keep playing out of horns out. Keep playing out of that ghost action, right? Go. Quiet.
We are set for final quarter action in game 2 of this best-of-3 series. Townsville 1 game up, trying to close it out tonight and take the trophy back to Queensland. The Southside Flyers are fighting for survival. They hit the front in that third term before the Fire got their noses back in front. It's a 1-point game as we start the last. Cole, Potch. Draws a foul.
Nadia Potch. Wow, on the rim, using her skill, gets herself to the free throw line.
Actually, look at the catch, the throwdown action to run onto her dribble there and her athletic prowess that she's been gifted with to get herself on the rim there.
54% from the line this season for Nadia. Pressure moments here for the youngster, and she makes the first.
Well, she's almost at her season percentage.
This to regain the lead. Well done.
100% tonight. Clutch free throws from the youngster.
Lauren Jackson watches on anxiously from the bench. A helpless feeling for the GOAT. Played such a role in helping them get to this stage. Now she needs her team to finish it off. Get over game 2 and take it to a decider on Saturday night. Back in Townsville. Reed. Shot clock to 4. Steph's been superb. Won't go this time, and Bishop pulls it in for Southside.
Wow, and Bet Cole's defence on Shyla Hill then, rejecting her, forcing her away from any screen action, not allowing her to come and get the catch.
Rochi to Bishop. Maybe over the top to Thornton, turns and is fouled in the process.
So probably one of the first times in this game that they've really attacked that switch action and done it in a timely fashion before the rest of the Townsville defence can get set, and we see them making it so tough. Kayla Thornton on the point of the rim, not on the low block, point of the rim. You can't get rotation in then from a bigger help defender.
And I'll give her credit. I mean, it hasn't been her night statistically from the field, 4 of 13, 9 points, but the persistence there, I think she's done a great job at times when she's had to defend the bigger, lengthier Hawkins as well. You can see obviously an unusual miss, if you will, from Thornton from the foul line.
84% for the season. She is elite from the stripe normally. That first one that didn't come out.
Well, she figured Potch just got 100%. She can drop one to even up the numbers.
So they lead by 2. Reed to Hawkins, to Heel, back to Steph. Rochi giving herself some space to try and prevent Reed getting past. Bishop comes across to help, and Steph still finds a way.
Wow. For anyone watching at home, Steph Reed is around 167 centimetres tall. She's one of the smallest players, if not the smallest player in the league, and her ability to do that over length is just class, as is that.
Beck Cole straight back at ya. Those guys are in the playground.
And we're all enjoying it right now. It's a 2-point game. Akuzo, Heel. Here's Reed again. Can Steph come up with this time? Steps around Rochi. This time she'll feed back to Zatina. Cole, big board.
Big defensive stop. Interesting here for Coach Chambers. Do you leave Maddie Rochi on Reed? Cole's got Shyla Hill locked up, or do you switch that up? Yeah, tough one. Which way do you go? Who's going to have more influence on the game?
How's the youngster just taking the game on in a grand final screening? We've said it all season. There hasn't been a situation that's been too big for Nadia Potch.
No, and you talk about pressure. I don't think this girl knows pressure. It's not in her DNA. She loves it. She absorbs it. She's got a career ahead of her. I think she's enjoyed this opportunity to play as Lauren Jackson has been out towards the tail end of this season, and we've just seen a star come of age, as we have with Izzy Borlase from SA and the like. And there we go, to form. As we're highlighting her, she shoots and misses a foul shot. But there is not enough that can be said about the potential of Nadia Potch and what she's going to bring to our league in the years to come.
Makes the second. They lead by 3. 2 minutes gone, final term. Thornton, Reed keeps it alive athletically, and now Ruth decides she's not going to need to carry it herself.
All this pressure, Thornton on Ruth.
Now to Steph. Reed to Heel. Now Hawkins. Get it through some hands, back to Reed. Shot clock to 5, feeds it through to Ruth.
And that's better ball movement, I think, from the Townsville Fire in that set. seen them become a bit stagnant in this third quarter and then the start of this fourth, but it was nice to see get the ball through hands, get some movement, some ghost action where it's not a screen, you're actually, you know, just cutting, but you want to lull the defense into a false sense of security. And right there, they get Ruth to the foul line.
Beck Cole sits down for a rest. 21 points tonight from her 27 minutes. Lauren Nicholson back into the game for Townsville. Samuelson. Ruth pressured by Thornton. Creates the turnover.
Huge. Listen to the crowd jump on the back of the Southside Flyers team. Critical now that they can try and, you know, capitalise on that. Can they come up with some plays that the crowd can get involved in, get a great finish, get a big stop? Interesting substitution by Coach Cheryl Chambers. Figures maybe give a star player a quick breather, 30 seconds here, and then inject it back in to see out this game. She's not in foul trouble.
One possession lead for Southside. They'd love to buy themselves a bit of breathing space here. Rocci receives back from Thornton, pops it over the top. Potch versus Nicholson. Went right, went left, drew another foul.
And they've been trying to go at those mismatches, trying to target the smaller wing types and the point guards and likes of Reed and Heel down in the low block all night, whether it's the likes of Thornton, Blitzarves, Cole, and now Potch joining the party. And it's working well for them. Now they've just got to reward themselves with making the foul shots.
Yeah, and she's fearless, isn't she? The GOAT looking a little nervous, rocking back and forth on that boot that she's probably still wearing from her recent surgeries.
I'd still back her. Get her in the game. Here's Ruth. They trail by 5. So a little bit of pressure here on Townsville. They've been just so steady and composed all year. Hawkins, long range. There it is.
Huge. I mean, the big-time players step up at big moments. Did her team need a bucket right then? Yes, they did. And she responded and answered for them.
Just like that, it's back to 2 points. What a team they've been, this Townsville Fire. What a run they're on. Rocci. And now they look to rip back momentum their way. Reed. Nicholson to the corner. Steph. Some traffic to try and negotiate. Samuelson. Back to Reed. Takes on Bishop.
Foul called. Be interested to see how long Coach Chambers leaves Beck Cole on the bench there. Maddie Rocci almost forcing a play there.
Third foul on Abby Bishop.
And Reed did a great job there. She knew she had the mismatch with the bigger type and Abby Bishop defending her. Bish did a great job on that first penetration. And then the kick out kept the dribble alive. Reset, got the ball back again and was able to finally draw the foul against Bishop.
So Coach Chambers gets the sub in. Beck Cole back in. Potch takes a breather.
Steph Reed to tie things up once again. And she does. 6.5 to play in game 2. Reed harasses Rocci. It'll remain a Southside ball.
Steph Reed, both ends of the floor. Pressure D, so composed offensively. 16 points, 4 assists. The engine room of her team.
Speak about engine rooms. You know, another one that's been a bit of an unsung hero tonight is Ruth. I mean, she's got the 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and has done it quietly. She definitely is, for me, the silent assassin, but just gets it done for Townsville Fire night after night.
Pause as everyone collects their breath.
I think we all need a pause right now. This one's definitely going down to the wire. Whoever gets this win tonight is really going to have to earn it.
Referees earning their keep as well. A few conversations with the coaches.
To Rocci. Cole back into the game. Beck accelerates, can't finish, and here's Ruth again. Reed to Nicholson. Lovely find. Michaela at the other end.
Speak of the devil. Runs the floor hard. in the right place at the right time always. You alluded to that in the first half, Graffy, and there she is again. Michaela Roof getting it done for Townsville Fire.
Up to 12 points. Now she works defensively on Rochi. Blitzarves, short.
Sense the momentum swung a bit Townsville Fire's way. It's only a 2-point buffer, but the momentum's clearly on their side. Will Coach Chambers pull a timeout if she senses it drifting anymore?
Flyers led by as much as 5. Now it's the Fire by a couple. Reed ripped out of her hands. Here's Cole. Just waits for the support. Every set just so critical now.
Some tired bodies out there walking in the half-court set.
Bishop hits the baseline. She fouled. Was it considered a travel? That scramble of bodies, down she went. Here's another look.
That's tough. Roof up and in. For mine, that's a foul. Bish wasn't falling over for any other reason than Roof inadvertently fell on her calf. Bishop has every right to be frustrated with that call, in my opinion. But either way, this next couple of minutes is in their hands. They got to control, lock in on defense, get a couple of stops here, especially this one, and then get some good offensive set down the other end.
So maybe a break for Townsville with that call. Maybe Bishop felt hard done by.
Reed will direct the traffic here, make sure her team executes what they want all the way down to low clock.
Samuelson tries to fight through on Cole. Knocked away from Roof. Blitzarves. Michaela spins. Back Sarah up. Can she finish from there? She can. Michaela Roof having a huge last quarter.
On her left hand, just backs herself in. Maintains her composure.
Margin back out to 4. Biggest lead for Townsville tonight has been 6. That's the biggest in the game. That's how tight it's been. Cole. Bishop. Back to Beck. Big shot. Huge! Big time shot.
Beck Cole, at the moment her team needs it, leads from the front, massive 3-ball.
1-point game again. Lovely find from Hawkins to Samuelson.
And how do you beat pressure? You beat pressure with cutting, and especially back cuts. Simple basketball at its best there from the Townsville Fire. Nothing fancy. Southside Fly trying to control the tempo defensively, being up in the lanes, and Samuelson just showing a nice, beautiful, easy counter.
Yeah, their execution and their counters, screening, they make great reads. You know, you can tell they're well drilled. They'd be doing that in breakdown drills. They know where to be, and they know what, if something's taken away, what the counter is. As you say, simple stuff, done well.
So no one in the game with more than 3 fouls. 3 for Samuelson, 3 for Bishop. So not a factor at this point with 4 minutes to play. You can put your best players out on the floor and go for broke. And for Southside, that's exactly what it is. It's all or nothing the next 4 minutes. Cole. Thornton just tries to power her way through. Townsville want the travel. Shot doesn't drop. Hawkins. Spins and steps. Finishes.
Talk about someone that doesn't force a shot but can silence a crowd is Tiana Hawkins. Have a look at this, just poise and control. Sarah probably overplayed her a little bit on the right-hand side, but the footwork to finish there for someone that's only taken 8 shots and has been so effective in every final to now, and have 14 points off 8 shots and only taken the 3rd shot in this 4th quarter, that's pretty massive.
Yeah, there you go.
This timeout brought to you by Aussie Hoops.
Come back in for Sarah. Hey, plenty of time. Let's just keep fighting and fighting here. If we get 3 stops in a row, we'll be fine. All right? Offensively, we're going to go loop down next time. No, we're not. We're going to go 32. We're going to go 32. Now, Maddie, they're pushing you down here when you get near the sideline. She's having a swipe at it. So try and stay in the middle. See if you can give her a brush screen if she needs it. Okay? So we're going 32 here. We're going to get a score and a stop. Here we go. Keep going. Southside, go ahead.
Coach Chambers, again, keeping it calm, focus on defence, see if they can execute a shot here, and talking about a counter-attack. Let's not get jammed on the sideline, keep the ball more in the middle of the floor so they can execute the screening action thereafter. But as she said, it's all about defence. They've got to get the stops.
These two teams know each other so well, Screeny. There's no secrets or surprises from here. It's just about execution.
Absolutely. Doing the little things, doing them well. One and done possessions for both teams, and Chambers injected Nadia Koch back into this lineup. as Sarah Blitzarf takes the seat.
Cole. Bishop. Goes herself, then pops it to no one.
Bishop hesitant on the free ball now. She was on fire in that first quarter. She's got to take that. Take it. You've got rebound coverage there. You can get after yourself. Instead, hesitates, pump fakes, and then creates a turnover. You've got to take those open threes.
So big opportunity here for Townsville to open up a handy break. They lead by 5. Ruth, it's been superb. Hawkins. Reed, back to Tiana. Massive shot, it's short. Big board to be won, and Southside win it. Thornton to Rochi.
Interesting now, what do they execute? Do they look inside to Thornton?
Bishop to Cole. Thought about going back to Abby Bishop. Through some traffic. Draws a foul.
Cole gets her feet in the paint, and she's done so well this evening.
How poised and composed has she been off the dribble? Her decision-making tonight has been absolutely superb. 24 points, 11 of 15, 0 turnovers, and playing some exceptional defense as well on the other end.
A professional foul by Lauren Nicholson. Fouled her physically, but there was no way she was going to make that shot.
Fire now in the bonus. Flyers have only given away 2 team fouls. Might be important down the stretch.
100% it's important, Jace, especially Flyers now with the focus should be points of feet in the paint. Get the rest to call the foul, get yourself to the foul line.
There is a foul off the ball. Collision there between Potch and Hawkins. So 3rd on Potch, 3 on Cole, 3 on Rochi, 3 on Samuelson for Townsville. Reed to Samuelson. The team leads by 3 with 2:45 to play in game 2. Nicholson, Samuelson against Thornton. Puts the head down. Kayla sticks to it. Reed swoops on the crown and finishes.
Reed, you are kidding me. Wow.
In she swooped.
Over a hand, leaning off it. Bank. Thank you very much, Steph Reed.
Margin back to 5.
And then she's calm, you know, high emotion to celebrate it. She's back focused, she's back on task. Exceptional mental skills.
2:35 to play. Townsville 2.5 minutes away from their 4th title. Southside fighting to force a game 3. Plenty of time for the Flyers. As Cole brings it down the floor. Rochi. Bishop. Cole. Shot clock to single digits. Back out to Rochi. Massive shot.
She just hasn't quite been herself tonight. We saw some frustration early. She hasn't found finishes inside that 3 ball. She's normally a great 3-point shooter.
Fouls Steph Reed. 2nd personal on Maddie. Just over 2 minutes to play. 2-possession game. Reed. Samuelson gets past Rochi. Class from Carly.
Smooth. She's got the long close out from Maddie Rochi. Pump fake though, 1 bounce jumper. You know, she's got a beautiful stroke. She can hit that 3. You get too close to her, she can finish in the lane. That one she read, just pulled up.
Game high, 7 points. Who can step up here for the Flyers? Thornton to Potch. Goes herself. Thornton in there scrapping. Townsville ball.
Southside just struggling to score at the minute. Not a bad take from the young Potch. Couldn't get the finish.
Big defensive play for the Southside Flyers coming up right here. Get a stop here. They stay in the game. Score to Townsville in mind. They'll seal the victory.
Reed. Offensive foul.
Let's have a look at that one.
Thoughts?
considering how much they've let everything go tonight and the context and where the time is, that one was probably a no call for me. Either way, they've called it, and we've got a ball game. Huge timeout for Cheryl Chambers here to see how she adjusts offensively. She needs a quick score, and she needs it early.
Can't go into the timeout. It's the last 2 minutes of the game, so privacy of the coaches is respected. But Graphy, what would Cheryl be saying right now?
She's going to talk about what they need to do offensively and what they need to do defensively. Do they go, defensively, are they going to try and attack a little more by going switching? They've got to contain penetration. They have to get that done. They've got to do something with Steph Reid. I'm going to say, almost to you, say face guard her, keep the ball out of hands. Someone else has got to be the creator for them. At the other end, if they've got an early open three, take it. She's diagramming a play here. Will they advance and look to diagram something up, something easy at the bucket of three? You don't have to rush three, but if you go to open three, Abby Bishop, you must take it. She's going to employ it. If you open to take the three, take the three. But they've got to, right here, can they get one great execution, one stop? If that doesn't work for them, they're in hurry-up basketball.
90 seconds, 7 points. If you're Shannon, what's he just been saying to his troops?
Team defense, know your rotations, know the scouts, lock in, play for a solid 14 seconds here, get it done, switch at late clock. And if you're going to foul, well, they're already in the bonus, but don't make it a three-point play.
Rochi, they want a quick basket here if possible. Open opportunity. Bishop doesn't take the three. Now Cole has to try and create something. Tough shot.
Frustrating because three players gave up shots. Rochi had a shot, Bishop had a shot, and then Cole had a shot, and then unfortunately Cole was forced into taking the wrong shot.
Now Reid poised again, controlling momentum, chewing up as much clock as they can here. The clock is their friend.
Ruth versus Bishop. Shot clock down to three. Tough shot. Hawkins. Oh, that hurts.
I'm going to say that might be the championship-winning rebound right there. Nail in the coffin, perhaps. Still a fair bit of clock, but they got a quick shoot now, the Flyers.
Potch does exactly that. Can't make it.
And Townsville just taking the air out of the crowd right now. Southside Flyers have done everything, almost everything, to secure this Game 2 win. But yet again, Townsville Fire have shown their nous. They've shown their poise. They've shown their composure. And they're about to be crowned the champions.
They're just so consistent and methodical, aren't they, Grappy? Like, nothing spectacular that they've done here to open up a 9-point lead. They've just executed.
They trust their process. They know how to. They know what counters to run. They know where each other's going to be offensively. This woman right here, MVP, championship MVP player, poised, composed, can score, defend, controlled tempo.
Tiana Hawkins has been brilliant as well for the second half, had 4 at halftime, 16 to her name, that crucial offensive rebound and putback. But I'm with you as well, Graffy. Reid for MVP.
Well, Steph Reid in college led the Buffalo Bulls to their first MAC title. She was the tournament MVP. She hit a buzzer beater to send them to the dance for the first time. So we know in big moments, Steph Reid steps up and delivers, and she has again tonight.
The cowbells will be ringing in Townsville.
Oh, I could just only imagine the crowd up there, the sea of orange, probably all watching together collectively.
Hawkins.
You've got to take your hat off to Southside Flyers, though. They've given everything tonight. They threw everything at them. They've really, in all honesty, had a great game.
Yeah, that they have screened that little patch there, where they had a 5-point buffer. But again, we've talked to Townsville. Talk about Townsville, their ability.
What a wonderful huddle that is. When all they do is come together and go, we're champions. Right? That's all they said to each other. Nothing more to be said. No tactics required. Just come in and say, enjoy it. Tiana Hawkins has been outstanding all season long.
And I feel it's rightful that she is the one potentially taking the last shot for Townsville Fire. She is one of the main reasons, if not the biggest reason, they find themselves here.
And the Fire burn brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time. They sweep the Flyers to claim their first title in 5 years. 16 straight wins to win the title. That's emphatic.
Emphatic. And I think most people in Australia watching now, or even if you're at the game and fortunate to be there, as much as you're heavy-hearted for the Southside Flyers and the performance they put on tonight, then they should hold their heads high. You cannot be more proud for the Townsville Fire and the performance they've had this season.
The Cygnett WNBL finals.
Heartbreak for the Southside Flyers. A fantastic season. But the Fire just continually came up big in big moments all season long, Graffy. And that's what it takes to win a title.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've heard Coach Seabom say it. They're going to trust their process. You know, they train hard. They've trained hard. They've worked for this all year. This team absolutely would have had their sights set on the championship and worked to that goal day in, day out, week in, week out. At times mid-season, we're like, oh, will they make the finals? And they go on this tear through the way they play Townsville Fire basketball. They execute. They understand counters. They defend through the roof.
They do indeed. And shout out to every Townsville Fire fan watching back up north in Queensland. They should be proud of their team. They should be proud of that man on screen right there, Shannon Seabom. He has led his team, the reigning Coach of the Year. He's won it 3 times. But this year was special. They're a pleasure to watch at both ends of the floor. He's all class, humble in winning, and he just makes everyone around him better.
Kate Gaze started the season as a sideline commentator with us. She finishes the season as a championship player.
And racks up 203 games in doing so. So many exciting stories on both teams. Tina Akuzo is another one. Tiana Hawkins, in terms of the recruit that she's been, and how good is it she will now get to go home and be reunited with her son.
Little Emmanuel she hasn't seen since the start of the year. Kate Gaze, a 3-time WNBL champion now. Steph Reid led her team superbly all season long, and certainly again tonight. Here she is with Candy.
Steph Reid, what an exceptional game by you, by your entire team, and what a season. What does that leave you with the feeling right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. It's so exciting. I mean, this is what you work for. Like, we've practiced so hard this season. We've had the best fans in the league all year, and, you know, they've come down in full force, and we're just so grateful to win. And, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Steph, 16 games in a row is insane in itself. You also had that double overtime. You had that incredible buzzer beater game as well. What an amazing moment is this to just add to the mix this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have the best coach in the league, and he got the recognition this year for that, and he's done an amazing job this season. He made sure we peaked at the right time. He's pushed us to be better every day. The girls, I mean, they're just such professionals. I mean, I'm so grateful to play with such an amazing team and be led by such an amazing organisation.
Tell me a little bit about your team right now, how you're feeling towards them. The sisterhood is so strong between all of you. You've just been there for each other, had each other's backs this whole season. What do you have to say about your sisterhood?
I mean, this team is the closest, the best group of people I've ever been with. I mean, I've just never played with a team that have genuinely got along so well. I mean, from 1 to 20 that we had on the road this time, it's an amazing group of people led by an amazing head of the table. Our board is incredible. Our GM, Sam Pascoe, it's just incredible people up in Townsville.
And how amazing to have your cowbell fans here in the crowd, not even your home court, and you can hear them ringing. Could you hear it? Did it spur you on?
Yeah, absolutely. And to see them out there in tutus and all kinds of orange. I mean, our Orange Army takes themselves everywhere, and I'm missing the team photos.
No, please go, Steph. We love you. Congratulations. What an amazing season. What an amazing night. Go and enjoy the moment.
Thank you.
Thanks to Steph Reid. Hey, can I have another team photo? I missed it. Steph's come in, look. trophy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official presentations for the Cygnett WNBL Championship Series. My name is Megan Hustwaite, and I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet tonight and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Well, wow, what an incredible Cygnett WNBL season it's been, culminating in an incredible finals series. Would you please put your hands together for the JCU Townsville Fire and the JCO Southside Flyers. I'd now like to welcome our official party to assist with presentations tonight. Matt Scriven, CEO of Basketbol Australia, Christy Collier-Hill, head of the WNBL, Rachel Spawn, Australian basketball legend, and Paul Santoro, the CEO of Cygnett. I'd now like to welcome Christy Collier-Hill to say a few words.
Looking up. Thanks, Meg. Look, what an absolutely sensational 22-23 WNBL season it's been. We welcomed a couple of new broadcast partners this year, ESPN and the Nine Network, which saw every game broadcast live and more games on free-to-air than we've ever had in the history of the league. We've also broadcast this incredible final series, including the semi-finals, into over 100 countries around the globe, which is just magnificent. We broke record crowds. We had more people through the doors than ever before this season, including a regular season record crowd of nearly 8,000 turning out to watch the Flyers and the Flames. We used our platform this season to drive some social change. We were the first professional sporting league in the country to dedicate a round aimed at fighting period poverty. And we delivered our second Indigenous round with a focus on education and sharing the stories of our fabulous First Nations athletes. Our partners, we welcomed back long-term partners Spalding and iAthletic, and then, of course, welcomed some fabulous new partners this season. DIY Blinds and CTM Sport joined us as major partners, and of course the wonderful Cygnett, Paul Santoro, representing them here today, who have joined us as our naming rights partner. This is a wonderful group of companies and partners who are dedicated to supporting, elevating and growing the WNBL. From everyone involved in the league, thank you. There are many, many individuals and groups that make this league what it is. Officials, volunteers, athletes, coaches, support staff and administrators. The Basketball Australia team, media who cover this league, and this season we've also seen record media coverage. And of course the fans and the very, very loyal supporters. Thank you all for your contributions. It has been a wonderful, wonderful season. Southside and Townsville. Cheryl, Amy, all of the Flyers. Certainly not the outcome you would have liked today, but it has been a fabulous season and one you should be incredibly proud of. Congratulations to you all and look forward to seeing you back on court next season. Shannon, Lauren and all at the Fire. 16 in a row, a truly remarkable achievement. And a feat that will no doubt go down in history for the WNBL. Huge congratulations, enjoy the celebrations, and thank you.
Thank you, Christy. I'd now like to call upon Rachel Spawn to present the medal named in her honour. Rachel Spawn, an Australian basketball legend, was a star in the big games in 5 WNBL championships. And the 2022-23 Rachel Spawn Grand Final MVP goes to, from the JCU Townsville Fire, Tiana Hawkins. Tiana, congratulations. What does it mean to have played a part in leading your Fire to the championship?
It's a great feeling. We found a way to stay together this whole season. I mean, we went through adversity in the beginning, but hey, if it wasn't for them fighting, we would not be here. So thank you to my teammates, my coaches, everybody.
Just finally, Tiana, your 7-year-old son, Emmanuel, is in school in America. You haven't seen him since before Christmas. You will now be taking him home a Rachel Spawn Grand Final MVP medal and a championship. You're going home to see your baby.
I can't wait to get home to him, but this is for him. I mean, it has not been easy, but they made it easy every single day. So thank you, Emmanuel. I can't wait to get home. Thank you.
Rachel Spawn medalist, everyone, Tiana Hawkins. Southside Flyers have had an incredible campaign, finishing the regular season in second spot and now runner-up in the Cygnett WNBL Championship Series. They set, as Christy mentioned, the WNBL crowd record at John Cain Arena in celebration of the GOAT Lauren Jackson. They've done all of this with 3 season-ending injuries as well. Would you please join me in welcoming up to the stage the captain of the Jayco Southside Flyers, Amy Rocci.
First of all, I just want to say a massive congratulations to Townsville. You guys have been the team to beat, and you've certainly been our Achilles heel, so well-deserved champions. Enjoy the celebrations. I won't take too much time. I know it's not about us, but being on our home court, I really do want to take the opportunity to thank all of the fans. It's been 2 seasons riddled with COVID. It's been lovely to have you back and packing these stands. So thank you for showing up week in, week out. Thank you to all of our volunteers who make this happen, all our members that keep showing up, and all of our sponsors. But the main thank you is to Jerry Ryan and Val Ryan and everyone at Jayco. Jerry is a massive supporter, and he never questions what it takes for us to be successful. And the only way we could ever repay you, Jerry, is by winning the championship. So I'm really sorry that we weren't able to do that, but I hope you're proud of what we did this season. Sorry, Townsville, last one is to the team. That includes all the staff, coaches, players. I'm really proud of the way we bounced back in this game too. You fought it till the end, and it's been a real honour to be your captain this season. So thank you to you guys. Congratulations, guys.
Wonderfully said, Amy. And congratulations to you, Cheryl, Tracy, Jerry and Val on a fabulous season. We look forward to seeing you back here this time next year. Well, I would now like to invite our local Aussie hoop kids from the Knox Basketball Association. You reckon the Flyers and the Fire are ready to go tonight? Well, these kids are bursting at the seam. They are going to assist us in the Cygnett WNBL Championship ring presentation. You ready to go, guys? Yeah, let's do this. Let's start with number 3 from the JCU Townsville Fire, Steph Reed. Number 4, Crystal Ledger-Walker. Number 7, Courtney Woods. A Cygnett WNBL champion in game 100, number 9, Shyla Hill. From sideline commentary in round one to the championship dais on the last day of the season, number 12, Kate Gaze. Number 14, Lara McSpadden. Number 15, Zatina Akuso. Number 21, the Rachel Spawn medalist, Tiana Hawkins. Number 24, Morgan Yeager. Number 33, Michaela Roof. Number 35, Nishaya Parker Williams. Number 44, Carly Samuelson. And the captain, number 1, Lauren Nicholson. And the 3-time Cygnett WNBL Coach of the Year becomes a championship coach, Shannon Seaborn. Shannon, you can stay here, thank you. Would you please put your hands together for the captain of the JCU Fire, Lauren Nicholson.
I just have a few people I would like to thank first off. Thank you to Cheryl, Amy and the Southside Flyers for a great grand final series. Thank you to Cygnett and the WNBL sponsors, and thank you to our corporate sponsors, in particular our naming rights partner James Cook's University, the Ville Resort and Casino, South 32, the Army, Aligned Corporate Residents, Audi, Queensland Fire and Rescue, Mendy Constructions and Townsville City Council, who are also my player sponsor. Thank you to all our other sponsors who we could not have done this without you tonight. To our season ticket holders and our loyal fans that are here tonight, this one is for you and we can't wait to get back to Townsville tomorrow and celebrate with you guys. To Sam, Shannon and the rest of the coaching staff and people that work for the JCU Townsville Fire organisation, I'm really proud to be a part of a club that just loves women's basketball, and I love playing there and so do all the girls, so thank you guys. And to our girls, You guys are amazing and you should all be really proud of this. We've worked really hard for this all season. I love you guys. Let's celebrate this one.
Well, Shannon, it's Sweet 16. 16 consecutive wins on the way to a championship. Wonderful reward for your entire club.
Yeah, definitely. Firstly, I'd obviously like to congratulate Cheryl and the rest of the Flyers team. You guys, obviously, I think you're 4 years in now. You've been in 3 grand finals. You've been the standard of, the WNBL every year. And we've obviously lost 1 championship to you guys recently as well. So, credit to you guys on a great year, and I'm sure you'll be back again next season. For our team, and our supporters, and Sam, our GM, my assistants over there, Marcus, Hayden, our physio, Brent, and everybody that's, played a massive role in this. We're so proud to have finally got over the line. It's been a couple of years, a bit of a grind, and, can't be happier for the team till we've finally done it.
Shannon, just finally, there's a lot of important members of your organisation that aren't here at the State Basketball Centre tonight. They are watching in a watch party at the Ville, but you're a long-time team manager, opposition analysis, a lot of people that have played huge roles in getting here, and I'm sure you'd like to send a cheerio to them.
Yeah, definitely. Donna, our manager, Foss, video coordinator, Jimmy, Jalen, there's a bunch of people behind the scenes that have done so much for us all year. And we definitely wouldn't be in this position without them. So, to those guys at home, we can't wait to get back and celebrate with you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shannon. And I'd now like to invite Paul Santoro, the CEO of Cygnett, to present the championship trophy. As we head over to meet the team, to the championship winning coach and captain of the JCU Townsville Fire, we present to you our 2022-23 Cygnett WNBL champions, the JCU Townsville Fire.
They won 3 titles in 4 seasons in 2015, 16 and 18. And as Shannon Seabold mentioned, they lost the grand final to the Flyers in the Hub in 2020, Graffy. This has been a win that's been a few seasons in the making. It's been a 3 or 4 year program to build to this point, and now they've done it.
Yeah, they haven't. And credit to them, credit to the roster they've put together. They battled through injuries like other teams did, but they were complete. They had depth. They had, they played D, they executed, well-deserved champions.
Scranny, it's been one heck of a season.
Oh, unbelievable from start to finish. All the teams, Melbourne Boomers, Southside Flyers, there's been great stories and headlines throughout the whole season, and it's proud to be a part of everything involved in the Cygnett WNBL.
Tiana Hawkins gets to go home and see Emmanuel for the first time in months, a champion. And having the imports just elevated this league to another level this year, Graffy. There's been so many good ones right across the competition.
Absolutely. 4 or 5 of the teams have quality imports like what we saw tonight on show. Starters out of the WNBA come here, make an impact, and it just makes this league what it is, one of the best competitions in the world.
20 points in Game 1, 18 points in Game 2 for Tiana Hawkins to win the Rachel Spawn medal. Well, that wraps up another fantastic Cygnett WNBL season. So many people for us to thank who work behind the scenes to make our job easier every week, beginning with our Inverleague crews around the country who work so hard to deliver our coverage. They're led superbly by our production team at Jam TV, our producers Sam Morwood and Rachel Murrell, and our director Matt Wiedemann. To the team at Basketball Australia, led by Christy Collier-Hill and Mark Quinn, thanks for all your support throughout the year. To the players and coaches who've put on such an incredible show all season long, thanks for your energy and your passion. And our biggest thanks, of course, to you, our viewers. It's your ongoing support of the WNBL that makes it possible for us to bring you the action throughout the year, and we hope you've enjoyed the season as much as we have. So on behalf of Carrie Graff, Jenny Screen, Candy Hertz, Megan Huswaite, our entire production team, thanks so much for watching. Congratulations to the Townsville Fire, WNBL champions, for the